Welcome to Batang, Central Java. Below us is PT Wavin Manufacturing Indonesia, a modern industrial facility currently undergoing a major energy transition. Across this massive footprint, we are installing a 1.29 megawatt peak rooftop solar photovoltaic array. Maintaining factory uptime while injecting 1,050 kilowatts of raw alternating current requires a sophisticated integration strategy. The primary engineering challenge happens below the roofline, where new power meets a sensitive manufacturing environment. To manage that integration, we establish a rigid physical and contractual boundary. For this project, that line is drawn at the point of connection, located exactly at the factory's existing 6,300 ampere main distribution panel. This schematic maps the exact boundary limits. By tracing the engineering backwards from this point of connection at the existing 400-volt main distribution panel out to the solar array, we can deconstruct the physical, logical, and safety architectures of the plant. Notice the hard dividing line on the right side of the diagram. The point of connection dictates every subsequent limit. Anything beyond this panel, such as the commercial grid export policy, falls strictly outside the scope of the solar asset. Looking at the left side of the boundary, every element must be unified before a single amp flows. Walkway safety lifelines, active zero export control, and closed-loop cybersecurity are entirely dependent on this centralized engineering baseline. Designing a megawatt array is an exercise in strict boundary management. Physical, electrical, and cyber limits must be locked down to guarantee the host facility remains protected. Stepping back from the point of connection reveals the raw electrical reality of the AC interface. At maximum output, the array generates a combined plant current of 1,613 amps, which routes directly toward the factory's 6,300 ampere bus bars. This diagram illustrates the primary mechanical gateway built to manage that load. The total plant current is isolated and controlled by a precisely sized 2,500 ampere air circuit breaker located inside the dedicated solar main distribution board. Behind that mechanical breaker is a secondary layer of defense. As shown in this concentric circle diagram, the overcurrent layer is reinforced by a specific digital relay protection system. We deploy ANSI code 27 for undervoltage, 59 for overvoltage, and 81 for frequency anomalies. These digital relays continuously scan the electrical characteristics of the municipal utility grid. If the outside utility power drops offline or fluctuates wildly, the system detects the anomaly in milliseconds. The automated response is immediate and fail-safe. The relays trigger the 2,500 ampere breaker to open, physically severing the connection. This prevents the plant from non-compliant grid islanding and stops lethal voltage from backfeeding into dead utility lines. Electrical safety at the point of connection relies on these autonomous, layered protections. They prioritize the factory's baseline grid stability over maximizing solar yield. This chart models yield projections against baseline demand. The system covers 22.62% of Wavin's baseline energy needs, but production is highly variable. Looking at the grid dynamics, during peak midday sunlight, the plant can generate a potential export surplus of 33.41%. Strict local utility rules dictate that this surplus cannot be pushed back onto the commercial grid. Unpermitted injection at the megawatt scale introduces severe regulatory and contractual liabilities. We solve this bottleneck by integrating a closed-loop power plant controller. A Class 0.2S meter continuously measures grid exchange. If it detects outgoing power, the controller instantly fires throttling commands to the inverters, curtailing active power output in less than 100 milliseconds. Integrating zero export logic transforms the solar array from a passive power generator into a highly responsive, regulatory-compliant digital asset. Moving upstream from the alternating current inverters, we trace the power back to its source, entering the direct current domain. This electrical single-line diagram outlines the raw scale of the DC layout. Our 1,998 photovoltaic modules are logically partitioned into 111 individual strings, with 18 modules wired in series per string. Configuring modules in series creates a specific physics hazard: voltage accumulation. As temperatures drop, solar module voltage increases, risking hardware limits during cold extremes. We can see the string voltage sizing proofs here. Under standard test conditions, wiring 18 modules yields 904 volts. Adjusting the calculation for a minus 25 degrees Celsius threshold pushes the voltage to 1,013 volts, safely below the inverter's absolute 1,100 volt limit. Direct current system design requires mathematically proving hardware survivability under the most extreme meteorological edges, rather than just planning for sunny days. Beyond the physical flow of power lies an equally critical, invisible vulnerability: digital telemetry, remote monitoring, and the risk of external cyber threats. Commercial cybersecurity operates on a strict golden rule. No field device, whether an inverter, smart meter, or weather station, is ever permitted a direct connection to the public internet. This diagram maps the secure data pathway. Local devices feed exclusively into a closed data logger, passing data through a firewall router. Transmission travels via an encrypted virtual private network. Notice the red X. Uncontrolled manufacturer cloud platforms are strictly blocked. Treating the megawatt array as a hardened, isolated, operational technology node is a non-negotiable requirement. It is the only way to protect the wider factory infrastructure from external digital exploits. Engineering theory eventually meets the highly dangerous physical reality of construction and life system tie-in. We confront the most profound operational hazard in solar engineering. You cannot switch off the sun. Direct current strings generate lethal voltage continuously. Simply pulling equipment connectors apart is an insufficient safety measure. Securing a system under these conditions requires physical, engineered constraints, rather than relying on human compliance. This flowchart outlines the strict 5-step lockout and tagout protocol used to isolate the substation. The process explicitly accounts for live DC strings. Step 3, prove dead, requires a physical meter test. No worker touches the bus bars until zero energy is verified. Once construction is safe and complete, the project shifts into a rigorous 6-stage progressive commissioning pipeline, systematically verifying every component before the plant is brought to life. This chart contrasts the mechanical checks of Stage 2A with the static electrical proofs of Stage 2B. Before any power is authorized, technicians use high-voltage Megger testing to detect macroscopic hidden ground faults while the system is still dead. The climax of dynamic validation occurs in stages 3 and 4. We execute a sequential one-by-one inverter startup, followed by an artificial export simulation. This proves the power plant controller's zero export system successfully throttles output under live load. Energizing a megawatt is never a single event. It is a deliberately stepped, fail-safe gateway process that validates every physical and digital layer before final handover. This end-to-end architecture diagram reveals the complete integration footprint. The megawatt system operates as a unified organism, connecting rooftop modules to the factory substation. Successful grid-parallel solar relies entirely on layered, deterministic engineering, spanning the physical, electrical, and digital control domains. Every technical threshold we've discussed, from calculating cold voltage limits to configuring ANSI relay triggers and encrypting data tunnels, serves one overriding mandate. That mandate is to maximize clean, renewable energy yield while completely immunizing the existing multi-million-dollar industrial asset against electrical and digital volatility. At the megawatt scale, the project operates as a rigid exercise in boundary management. Every connection is a component of a controlled, defensive power architecture.